Have you ever been blamed for something just because you were born? My older sister, Emma, has cerebral palsy, and for as long as I can remember, my parents have made me feel guilty for being the normal one. Every meal at home was practically a ceremony dedicated to Emma's achievements. Look, she got an 8.5 even though she has more obstacles. And you, with all your health, only a 10? On my birthdays, half the gift ended up with Emma so she wouldn't feel bad. When I made the varsity soccer team, the first thing my dad said was, "Remember, Emma can never run like that." By 14, I was basically the family ATM. What I earned from my summer job went straight to her therapies. If I babysat, that money was for special equipment. While other kids bought video games, I spent mine on Emma's meds. When my friends got cars at 16, I got a long lecture about privilege and responsibility. The worst part was everyone applauded my parents for raising such a generous son. Teachers told me I was super mature. Neighbors held me up as an example. At church, we were paraded as the ideal Christian family. I just smiled and nodded. But inside I was falling apart, wondering how I ended up with this life. By junior year of high school, the school counselor called me in and said, "Jake, you have impressive grades. Have you thought about applying to top universities?" I just let out a bitter laugh. With what money? When she saw my face, yeah, no way. I explained that everything I'd ever earned had gone to Emma's stuff. I eventually got into Stanford with a partial scholarship, and my mom, with tears in her eyes, sat me down and said, "We're so proud of you, but we can't afford the rest. Emma needs a new chair," and her therapy went up again. My entire college fund, 18 years of savings, birthday and graduation gifts, all of it had already gone to her medical expenses, and no one ever asked if I was okay with it. I watched my dreams crumble while my parents kept acting like they were making some great, noble sacrifice. By the time I turned 22, I had 2 jobs and no future going to a public university. I was still living in my childhood room, full of participation trophies I'd earned, before I realized that in my house, winning didn't count. One night, Emma called me crying. "I need to tell you something," she whispered. "Can we meet tomorrow?" We met at a coffee shop. She pulled out her phone with shaking hands. "Last night I recorded our parents. You need to hear this." The audio broke me. First my mom's voice. "We've been too hard on Jake. It's not fair to use Emma as an excuse to control his life." My dad answered, "But he's strong. He'll figure it out. Besides, Emma says she feels guilty about the college money. She never asked for so much attention." And my mom continued, "But we acted like she needed all of it."